Hi, I'm Steve Rafalski, the author and producer of Lightning Sword, Journal of the Apocalypse. And I wanted to give you folks who are looking in and perhaps connecting to YouTube via the journal a chance to see what I look like, what my manner is. When I'm listening to audio lectures or sermons, or when I'm reading, it helps for me to get a sense of who the author is, what they look like. If you want to connect with the journal online, please go to www.lightningswordjournal.com. That's one word, Lightning Sword Journal. First and foremost, the journal is a vehicle, an e-zine, of quality literature, poetry and prose. Second, it is a journal of vision. A vision, well, let me put it this way. Any poet or writer worth their salt, if they are worthy of the name, they have sight into the spirit realms. They have understanding of eternity, so to speak, past and future, the eternal realms now. So when I say a journal of vision, I mean seeing these things that are not ordinarily seen. Vision also of human history and where we have come from, where we are going. The journal and the podcasts will be looking at the book of Revelation. Now, I'm a lover of the Holy Scriptures, Old Testament and New Testament. But a couple of years ago, while I was out of the country and I had planted and pastored a church, I had occasion to preach through the entire book of Revelation. It was a total of 60 sermons with some added, related sermons like the Babylon sermons or the Babylon series, I forget what I called it. I came to have a great love and understanding of the book. It was electrifying to me and to the people in our spiritual community, and it gave me sight into things that had happened up through the last 2 millennia when it was written. The book of Revelation was written in around the year 95, give or take a couple of years. And also things that will be happening at the end of this age. There are two ages, the world that is now and the age that is to come. Things have been happening all during what we call the church age, the last couple of thousand years, since Jesus Christ came into the world and then he left it. Things have been happening in terms of the persecution of his followers and the spread of his gospel message throughout the world. But things have accelerated, and it is written that they will be accelerated. Persecution will multiply exponentially toward the end. to the point where it's completely universal. But that's at the very end. The journal looks at these things, the writings of Scripture, and also what we can glean from Scripture pertaining to the times that we're in now. I know that this is an area rife with abuse and craziness. There are a lot of fanatics and extremists and people way out that comment on and talk about and get their stuff from the book of Revelation. I hope to be balanced and not a crazy. The apocalypse. That's in the Greek. The Greek word underlying revelation in the title, the book of Revelation, would be apocalypsis. It means the uncovering, the revealing. And it is. It's the revealing of things that are to come upon the earth, things that are happening in the heavens, in the spirit realm. A revelation of who God is and what He is doing. So this will be discussing all of these things. Now the apocalypse, you hear of the genres post-apocalyptic, post-apocalypse America. Well, the apocalypse takes human history right up to the end of the age. The finale of this age and the return of Jesus Christ and the advent of a new age where the destinies of humankind will split. There will be a realm of glory after the great resurrection of the bodies. And some people with their bodies will be on the new earth, which is also possessed of the new heavens. The heavens will come down to the earth. The earth will be new. There are those who will not have that destination, but will be in hell or the lake of fire with the devil and his angels. I hope to convince people to turn their hearts to faith in Jesus Christ. And He is the one, He's the gatekeeper. He's the one who gives entrance to the kingdom of glory. May you learn of Him and draw near to Him and cleave to Him for your very life. There's also an entity in the book of Revelation called Babylon. I've been thinking a lot about this and studying about it, and I'd like to talk about what this great entity is that will manifest again at the end of the age. Now, I think that we are near the end of the age, so it has already manifested. I'd like to talk about that. I'm not going to do it right now because this is supposed to be a brief intro and introduction to me. But I will write about it, and I've already written about it, and I'll give podcasts on it. I'll give audio talks. Now, also in the Lightning Sword Journal, there are essays and poetry and a book. I've got a few chapters, maybe 5 or 6, from a book called A Great and Terrible Love. That's the history of me in my spiritual odyssey, but also of the culture that I came out of, the counterculture, but the 60s 70s counterculture, but also the world is, and also the world of that time and the generations following, because that was 4 or 5 decades ago, when I was in the 60s and 70s. It will be the story of this generation, of the world as it is now in 2012, and a discussion of things that are happening in our government, what we might expect from the government, what we might expect in terms of events, both from other nations and within our own nation. I mean, not all of this is specified in the Apocalypse, in the Revelation, but we also can, study the times and have discernment, see what's coming, without being, attached to the multitude of conspiracy theorists. There are things that are happening, and I wouldn't call it conspiracy to say that there are certain trends in government and surveillance and and that sort of stuff. That's not conspiracy. That's just sort of these are documented facts. But how do they impact us? What might we expect? How should we prepare? How should we prepare mentally and spiritually, if so be that you have a spiritual life? It's important to have a spiritual life. And I don't mean just a general spirituality, because people who take drugs have some sort of spiritual experience. When I say a spiritual life, I mean the true spiritual life, to be born anew of God's Spirit by means of uniting to Jesus Christ. So these are some of the things that will be spoken of. I'm writing in great measure and will be speaking in great measure to the disciples of Jesus Christ, to the community of believers, with a definite eye, however, to encouraging people to come in and join our community. It will be a life-saving community in the days to come and in the age to come. At any rate, that's the end of this this intro, which wasn't really so brief. And I hope you all look in to Lightning Sword, Journal of the Apocalypse. Bye.